So, before Lexi and I met, there was kind of a backstory. Both of us were going to school, and I was about to move home because I was no longer playing at UVU and wanted to be closer to my family. And so I was about to move home in the middle of the summer, right before summer started, and there was a spot that opened up. A spot opened up in a house right next to the village, and I didn't really want to take it, but I felt like I should. It was a good chance to be with my buddies while we were finishing up college, and so I took it. And that was the first week of May, and that very next week is when I met Lexi.
I think it was a Friday night. Really don't know. I think it was a Friday. So we were just hanging out at my house with Alexa, Allison, and Savannah and Kirsten. We were just hanging out, and then someone came up with the grand idea to go hit up the hot tubs at the village. And so we got all ready. We went to the village hot tubs. It's locked because you have to have a key to get in. So we showed up at the door, and we saw there's like 10 guys. There's like 10 people in there. And so we knocked on the door, and then this super tall guy jumps out of the pool with dark hair, comes and opens the door. My main focus was getting in the hot tub, so I kind of brushed past him.
Leading up to that night, I was with my best friends. I was with Kyle, Matt, Christian, and Jake, and we were just at the hot tub having a good time. We went to watch the Warriors play the Portland Trailblazers, and as we were sitting there watching the game, we were talking to people, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this group of girls led by none other than Lexi. And as they walked by, her blonde hair caught my attention, and obviously they didn't have a key because they sneak in everywhere. A little bit rebellious group of girls. And so they come up, and I see Lexi, she's knocking on the door, so I get up and I run over there and I let them in. And I'm thinking, I was going to talk to her. Not a chance. She walked right past me.
Looking back later, that was Josh that I walked past, and then we got into the hot tub. Everyone in there was just talking. The guy that opened the door was already talking to two other girls, and so I was just talking to these other people in the hot tub. I was talking to his one friend. The conversation with his one friend was about Josh. I kept asking him about his friend over there in the corner, about how he played basketball, just all about him. So I think Josh probably thinks that I was flirting with him, but I was actually talking about Josh.
So I was kind of like, okay, I like a challenge a little bit. And so I greet the rest of our friends, and we were sat down and we were talking to Kirsten, Savannah, and I think we were kind of mingling, but Lexi was on the other side of the hot tub talking to some other cute boy that she wanted to talk to. And so I had my eye on her, but we were talking, and finally the game ended and we wanted to hang out. So I got up and walked to the other side of the pool, and I got in the pool because we were in the hot tub section, but I got in the pool, and she was still talking to this guy. And so I splashed her with some cold water, and she turns around, "What?" And so I start talking to her, and I was like, "Hey, you should come over to our house. We should do something." And we decided to make some cookies and get some ice cream, make a kazuki. And so we get out of the hot tub. I asked her for a number, and we planned to meet back at my house.
And so then all of a sudden this guy comes up and starts splashing me with water and just trying to act, flirty, I'm not sure. And then it was Josh, and he asked if we want to come over to their place to make cookies. And so I started talking to him about, ingredients. I was trying to plan it out, what ingredients we needed, if I needed to go to the store or whatever. And so after that, we kind of were all just talking as a group with his friends. And then as I'm getting out of the hot tub, I was, getting our clothes back on to leave. And he comes up, and I really saw the height difference then when he came up. No shoes on, super short, and he was super tall, but he asked for my number, and I thought it was just so he could tell us. He just said, "I'll get your number so I can tell you our address of where to come." And so we're like, okay. Didn't think anything of it. Then we left, and then we showed up, we got ready, and then we went back to their house. We found out it was only a minute walk from where we lived, so we went to his house.
And so as I'm getting ready, I can hear them all come in. I'm in the room, and all of a sudden I hear this girl come in, and she's talking to my buddies Christian and Jake, and somehow she found out that my uncle was on Survivor, and her family is super into Survivor, and she was like, "No way! Like Scott Pollard is his uncle," and so I could hear her like talking about that, and she was like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like she just wants to talk to me because of my uncle, and I don't know. So I was kind of hesitant, but I walk out there. Anyway, she makes me download this game on my computer. Quiplash broke my computer.
As soon as we got there, we were all just hanging out, and I realized Josh, like I couldn't even find Josh. I didn't know where he was. I bet he was just in the back getting ready, trying to look good, you know. And so I didn't know where he was. And then I was super into the show Survivor. It's our family's favorite show. And someone said that his uncle, Scott Pollard, was on the show. And I started, like, "Where's Josh? I want to talk to him about this." And I think he heard it in the other room. And then everyone's like, "Josh, like, she's looking for you." Long story short, he comes out finally. We start talking. I like to thank Survivor and Scott for breaking the ice for us, because that really gave us a little intro to our relationship. And then we decided to play a game, Quiplash, with everyone there. And so I was helping him set it up on his computer, ending up breaking his computer, and it was the most frustrated I've ever seen Josh.
So the first night, I thought she just wanted to talk to me because my uncle was on Survivor, and 2, she broke my computer. So the first night wasn't great. She took a selfie of me and sent it to her family. I don't even think she knew my name. She just said, "This is Scott Pollard's nephew." Not very nice, but I had her number and I was interested, and at the end of the night, even though she broke my computer and didn't know my name, I decided to ask her out.
So he's going to tell you otherwise, but yes, he did text me and asking me on a date. So usually if that did happen, I would say no, because I would want to call. But it was different with Josh. I cut him a little slack, and so he asked me going on a date that for the following Wednesday, I believe it was. So he asked me for the date and it was a double with my roommate Savannah and then his roommate Christian. So we came over to his house. I remember when forgot about this. He didn't make us. I offered, but he didn't offer back. We ended up walking to the date, so he didn't even come pick us up. So he first texted, and we ended up walking over to the house all ready for the date.
And so I asked her out. It was a double with Savannah and Christian, and then Lexi and I.
Anyways, I remember walking into their backyard because they said they were going to make us some dinner. And I saw him cooking at the grill. He was in this long sleeve, like a button-up shirt, I think. I don't know if it was a long sleeve. Actually, it was just a button-up. And I saw him, and I remember looking at him, and I immediately just got so nervous because I've never seen such an attractive, or been on a date with such an attractive person ever. And so he was cooking at the grill, and then he was making, it was some chicken and some zucchini on the grill with some yummy potatoes from a box.
And we grilled up some chicken, made it all nice, and we sit down to have the dinner, and Lexi looks at the food and she was like, "Are those boxed potatoes?"
There was rolls and water, and we ate it all at the table. I remember I couldn't even be myself that day because I was so nervous, and it was just, the date was just a fun conversation. We were all just talking and laughing, and it ended early because I remember we wanted to go to bed early.
And she didn't have any of the potatoes, didn't eat any of the rolls, and I don't know if she had any chicken either, but maybe she had some of the lemonade we made. But I couldn't win with this girl. 9 o'clock rolls around, she says, "See ya, we're gonna go home." So at this point, I mean, I'm a fighter, so I was gonna go after what I wanted, but at this point, she was being a tough cookie. I couldn't crack it.
So they ended up walking us home and kind of sitting down. It was just kind of lingering on, and then they're like, yeah, we're just going to go to bed. And so we all just went to bed, and I didn't think I would ever hear from him again. And I guess that was wrong.
And I was like, man, like maybe she's just not interested. So I let a day go, and we didn't hang out the next night. But I kept trying because I'm a fighter.
And after we left that night, I didn't think anything would come from it because I thought, I just ruined it. And so that is how that's the first night. Oh, this is a good story because it took Josh, oh man, probably at least 3 to 4 weeks to finally kiss me, which it's okay,
If you listen to the love story, you know why.
No, he's shy and was nervous. It was cute. So we both have been kind of wanting it to happen, you can tell, right? Stop.
She didn't eat my box potatoes.
Stop. Okay.
Stop.
So.
One more. Stop.
Oh my goodness, we were at the hot tubs again. And we went back to my house to change.
That's the sweet spot over there.
We went back to my house to change. Okay, so we go back, I change. He was just waiting in the living room, and then I come out, and I was like, okay, let's go. And the first kiss, I knew when it had to happen. I mean, the height difference was gonna make it a little difficult. So, I mean, this is pretty strategic of me, but I was up on my stairs, so I was facing him, but I was sitting up in my stairs looking at the mirror. Okay, go from there.
So here's what's going on. So I'm waiting for her out in the is it the foyer?
Living room.
It's in the church. I'm out in the living room, and if you can call it that, it was kind of a crappy basement. So we're just over there, just waiting for Lexi to change, and she comes out and she always steps on the couch and looks in the mirror because she was too small to look in the mirror.
I step on the stairs.
Stairs or couch, either one. And so she's stepping on the stairs and she's fixing her hair, and then she was trying to zip up her jacket, but her jacket it was like stuck or something. Anyways, that was like light bulb, like
I knew that he did.
I was like, it was kind of like when a girl like in Hitch, when girls fiddle their keys, similar.
No.
Similar. I said, I know what I need to do. So I go over to turn off the lights.
Okay, wait, sidetrack. He all of a sudden I think when it hit him, he all of a sudden got so nervous. He was like pacing the room, and I'm just standing there like, what is going on? He was trying to turn off lights, and I'm like, the switch is right here.
You didn't say that.
In my head, I was thinking that.
So I went over to turn off the light, and as I'm like headed over, there is another light switch, but there's another one by the stairs where she was at. So I go over to turn off the one in the hallway, and she like flicks off the light.
And I said,
right before I got there, and she said,
I just waited there. I said, okay, come on.
Okay. But then she kept fixing her zipper on purpose. She was looking down, fixing her zipper, and I was like, whatever. It's like 85 degrees outside. She's fixing her zipper on her jacket.
Cold.
And so I walk over there, and I was a little nervous. But then we walked up.
Long story short, we were eye level, and Josh just looked at me, What color are my eyes?
I was telling you too
What color are my eyes? What color are my eyes?
They changed, so I never know.
So he looked into my eyes. He doesn't even know my color of my eyes. And then he kissed me, and then we went back to his house.
That's not what happened. I walked up, you were looking down, I gave you a little head bump.
Okay, yeah, that was what happened.
And then you looked up, and then pow.
No, just a little peck. It was a little peck. And then this is the embarrassing part. We walked back to his house. Of course, we're kind of like giddy now that finally happened. I just felt like I should share the excitement with his roommates. I kind of announced it like, hey, Josh finally did it. And they didn't say one thing.
Awkward.
It was
awkward.
That's the end. Okay, tell me what you love about Lexi.
I love Lexi because she's perfect. Alright? I'm kidding. Lexi she's driven, she's independent. She was living on her own at a young age, paying for her school, paying for, you know, all of her food, her groceries, and she was very impressive to me when I first met her. And as I was starting to date her, I saw how kind she was to people. Just finding out that she wanted to be a special education teacher, help kids with special needs. I mean, to be that type of person, to love those type of people and be able to work with them on a day in, day out basis, not just as a job, but as something you truly love is really impressive. She's so, she's just so kind. Everybody always has the best of things to say about her. Her family, her friends, anybody that is in contact with Lexi says how sweet she is and how she's always uplifting and loves people. And the last thing that sticks out to me is just how much she loves me. She's so good at showing her love, you know, leaving notes, calling me, little texts. She's very sentimental, and it makes it easier to feel her love because she's so good at showing it.
What I love about Josh, do I have a time limit?
Mm-hmm.
There are so many things that stood out to me in the first place about Josh. He's very friendly. He was so friendly, and that really stood out to me. He just is like a friendly person, and people around him loved to talk to him, and he seemed to get along with everyone, and that was something that was super important to me. He also is so good with his priorities. He has everything straight. You know, he's strong in the church, and he knows how to have fun too, and that's something that I absolutely love about him. Josh is a family man, and that is an important thing to me. He loves his mom and his dad and his siblings, and they all look up to him, and I think it's cool to hear how much they love him too. Josh knows how to make me laugh. He has he has like dry humor. I don't know how to explain it. I love it though, and it really does make me laugh, and he knows when to do cute little things and leave me notes on my car, or, you know, date nights. He just does cute little things, and I just love him because he makes me a better person, and I love spending every day with him, and I just never ever get sick of him, and he really is my best friend.